Hey, welcome back everybody. That was such an aggressive intro, my bad. Yo, welcome back everybody to a brand new video. Today we're gonna be looking at a video titled When Tiger Snakes Attack Gone Wrong from a channel called They Will Kill You. As you already know, the original video will be down in the description below. And yeah, if you're new around here, hey, my name is Billy or Lewis. You can call me either one. And welcome to the channel. Do me a favor, subscribe and hit that post notification, get notified when I upload a video or premiere a video. But yeah, that's all it has to do with the intro. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Number 9.
Tim Cadman.
Tim Cadman, okay.
In October of 2016, Australian man Tim Cadman narrowly survived an encounter with a tiger snake in New South Wales. The university lecturer was guiding a party of 4
in that
to
UK?
Coonawarra National Park. He'd just finished telling his group that the snakes were particularly dangerous at that time of the year when he felt a sudden
like a python,
pain
not a
in his
python,
left leg. He initially thought he'd snagged his leg on a twig, but then realized he'd been bitten. His walking companion applied a compression bandage, and the emergency services were called. A Westpac helicopter approached the area that the group was in,
I'll be
but
scared of
bad
snakes.
weather forced the pilot to land at some distance. A decision was made to have a road ambulance retrieve Cadman. Sorting out all the logistics took several hours.
That's a good
By the time his
friend right there,
rescuers
partner.
reached him, Cadman had already started to vomit, shake, and gag, which are typical precursors to venom-induced major organ failure. Fortunately, he was treated with antivenom and recovered after being
I hate
hospitalized
gagging.
for a few days.
I prefer to get stabbed than gag.
Number 8,
number 8.
Callum Edwards.
If you see random cuts in the video, I'm cutting the ads out.
20-year-old Callum Edwards died on New Year's Day 2019
New Year's
following
Day?
a tiger snake bite that he'd sustained at a music festival. In late December, Edwards was at an event called Beyond the Valley in Lardner, about 60
bad.
miles east of
I'm
Melbourne.
a bit under the weather,
It was
so
there that he fell critically
I need to
ill
sneeze,
and
but it
had
doesn't
to be
wanna come out.
airlifted to a hospital. During the same festival, at least 2 other revelers, both in their 20s, had to be rushed to the emergency room after they'd overdosed on unspecified substances.
Why
In
do you
light of
drink,
those
bruh?
incidents, Edwards' condition was initially regarded as a suspected overdose. However, further medical investigation revealed the presence of tiger snake venom in his system. It's unclear when the bite had occurred, but the venom had already wrought havoc on the young man's organs. He died in the hospital only a few days after he'd been airlifted from the festival. Number 7,
Now, New Year's
Matt
Day.
and Braden Horn. In 2017, an Australian man and his autistic son were the victims of a vicious tiger snake attack,
come on, man.
which occurred
That's
at their home in Diamond Creek, Victoria. 11-year-old Braden Horn was playing in the hallway when the deadly reptile slithered up to him. Not realizing the danger he faced, Braden attempted to handle it, at
Why?
which point he was bitten twice, on a toe and on the inner leg. His father, Matt, intervened and wrestled the snake away from him. He also sustained 2 bites in the process. The family called the emergency services after trapping the tiger snake in their bedroom. Catcher Matt Pelly, locally known as the Snake Hunter, removed it from the premises
think you
while
wanna
the
do that,
father
bro.
and son were rushed to a local hospital. Tiger snakes are among the planet's most venomous reptiles, owning venom that can take hold within 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
However, according to Pelly, they aren't particularly aggressive unless they feel threatened. Like other snake species in Australia, they may enter homes to escape hot weather. Pelly told the BBC that throughout his work as a catcher, he'd removed snakes from cars, beds, dishwashers, refrigerators, and even from inside walls. In the attack's aftermath, Matt and Braden were given antivenom. They were kept under observation for 20 hours and subsequently released without further incident.
That's good. That's good.
Number 6,
Strong people.
Jackson Scott. In 2012, a Glasgow man was bitten on his privates by a tiger
His privates.
snake while on a working holiday in Tasmania. 29-year-old Jackson Scott
did you get bitten
was
in
based
private?
at a farm in a rural area, and he'd gone into the garden to relieve himself. He would later tell a media outlet that he'd chosen to do so in order to save water on flushing the toilet, since water was precious in the outback. It was roughly 4 o'clock in the morning as Scott assumed a squatting position in the dark. As he was about to return, he felt a searing pain in his testicles. Scott determined that he'd been bitten by a tiger snake, and he knew that he had to act quickly before the venom took hold.
That's
A
a very
friend
sensitive
then drove
part.
him 40 minutes to a Hobart hospital. Scott was treated with antivenom and survived what he described as a painful and embarrassing encounter. Number 5. Odie.
Odie.
In 2018, a family from
dog,
Western
bro.
Australia
Please,
was
not
emotionally
dog.
shaken up after losing their dog in a tiger snake attack. Odie, a 4-year-old bull Arab, had been wandering on the Wilkinson family property in Barragup. Normally an energetic and playful dog, Odie returned to his owner, Liana, displaying weakness and lethargy. He was taken to a local hospital, where a series of tests indicated that he'd been bitten by a tiger snake.
I don't like when...
In addition to antivenom, the pet was also treated with several bags of fluid. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to save his life, and Odie passed away the following day. In the aftermath of losing their pet, who they regarded as a member of their family,
show this?
the Wilkinsons shared their story as a warning to other residents. Wildlife authorities
I thought
advised
the owner-
homeowners to keep the grass on their properties low and to clear away rubbish piles as well as materials
I was
such as
the owner, I would've gone
wood
hunting for the
planks or
snake.
sheets of corrugated metal,
I'm getting
which
revenge.
snakes might use as shelter. Number 4. Ben Avery.
Ben Avery.
In April of 2021, a Brisbane snake
This
catcher
year.
was left battling for his life after he was bitten by his pet tiger snake. Ben
Oh, they have
Avery
pet
was
tigers.
feeding the reptile named Wesley Stripes at his home in Redlands. As he approached the snake, it launched out of its enclosure and plunged its fangs into his thumb. It's believed that the tiger snake managed to deliver a full envenomation, and Avery described the effect of the bite as the worst pain he'd.
Alright, my bad.
To the quick reaction of his wife, Melissa, she kept her composure and, within 30 seconds, wrapped bandages around her husband's
Oh,
arm
she's smart.
and called the emergency services.
Smart.
Less
Fearless.
than 15
Hey.
minutes after he'd been bitten, the father of 2 collapsed and started convulsing. Avery was rushed to Princess Alexandra Hospital. His kidneys had started to shut down because
That
of the venom,
fast?
with one report claiming that they'd pretty much melted. He
Oh
was
my.
hospitalized for 11 days. Avery was given 4 blood transfusions and was placed on dialysis for several weeks,
He made it though, right?
but was expected to make a full recovery.
Alright, that's
His
good.
reaction to tiger snake venom is believed to be among the worst on record,
Oh.
particularly when considering how quickly he lost consciousness. Toxicology specialists actually used his close call as a case study for treating snake bites. Doctors told him that another tiger snake bite would likely be fatal. Avery stated an intention of rehoming Wesley Stripes along with his other venomous snakes. Number 3. Jamie Lind. In 2019, snake catcher Jamie Lind called his wife to say goodbye, believing he was about to die due to the effects of tiger snake venom. Lind had been called to a residence in Willora, about 90 miles west of Melbourne. He'd successfully captured the snake and was walking around the property with the owner. Lind then encountered what he'd later describe as one of the largest tiger snakes he'd ever seen. Lind grabbed the serpent's tail, at which
Why?
point it swung up to bite him in the face. Lind
His
avoided
face.
the initial attack, but the snake then sunk its teeth into his armpit region beneath the shoulder blade. While the bite itself didn't hurt, Lind started to feel the effects of the venom within minutes. The owner called the
minutes?
emergency services and an ambulance was dispatched to the remote property. Not knowing how long it would take for his rescuers to arrive, and with his consciousness fading, Lind called his wife and children to say goodbye. The ambulance reached him after an estimated 40 minutes, and Lind was taken to Ballard Base Hospital, which was about 60 miles away. Lind was given 2 doses of antivenom, and he spent 24 hours in the intensive care unit. He survived his ordeal, but in the aftermath, decided to retire from snake catching.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
October of 2015, Georgie Harper was bitten by a tiger snake while working on a proposal for a school excursion at Yelagonga Regional Park in northern Perth. 20-year-old Harper, a teacher in training, accidentally cornered the highly venomous serpent against one of the historical plaques at the site. Others in her group managed to jump backwards in time. Harper, who was closest to the snake, was bitten twice as she struggled to avoid it. An ambulance was called and a tourniquet was applied to the young woman's leg
I don't know what I'll
to
do if I
prevent
was
the venom from spreading. She was taken to Joondalup Health Campus, where medical staff determined that her envenomation was mild enough that it didn't warrant anti-venom treatment.
Oh, that's
She was
good.
held under observation overnight with a splint on her leg
just by
and
a-
released from the hospital the following morning. The next few days, she experienced a rare delayed reaction to the snake's venom.
never mind.
Her ankle became swollen and she experienced intense pain. Her condition gradually worsened. She started having problems with her kidneys, was losing muscle mass and felt so weak that she could barely get out of bed. Harper found it difficult to work or study as she was in and out of hospitals.
She made it?
Fortunately, the treatment eventually started showing results and her health improved.
Alright, that's good. That
Number
matters.
one,
That matters that they
Winston
get well.
Fish. In 2020, a Tasmanian pensioner died following a brutal tiger snake attack in which he sustained multiple bites. A neighbor found 79-year-old Winston Fish
Who?
with the serpent still coiled around his arm.
Ah.
The elderly man had been tending to his sheep at a farm in Oatlands,
Oh, he was a
north
farmer.
of Hobart. There were no witnesses to the attack, but the authorities proposed that Fish had accidentally tripped and fallen on the snake, prompting a defensive response. Fish was bitten at least 5 times,
5
with the
times?
most significant marks present on his hand and on his leg.
Hold on, I
The
don't
neighbor
think
freed
we
him
can
from
show
the
that.
snake's
Hold on.
grasp by chopping off its head. Fish was treated by paramedics at the scene before he was airlifted to Hobart Royal Hospital, as there was no antivenom available at the Oatlands clinic. He passed away 2 days later.
Everybody, that'll do in the video. This video is kind of not that entertaining, but hey, there's some good videos, there's some bad videos, but yeah, thank you for watching and see you guys next time. Goodbye.